Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Oh, hello again. It's me. There is a question you were never meant to ask. A question that cracks the surface of your world the moment you dare to look too closely. If reality is real, why does it behave like a memory you're trying to recall? Let me take you through the portal. Transmission 002. Commence. As you might know, humans sense things long before they understand them. Moments that feel scripted, coincidences too precise, dreams so real they leave fingerprints on your emotions, people acting like background characters, moving along predictable lines of logic. For centuries, your philosophers, mystics, scientists, and the silent ones who see too much have all whispered the same suspicion. This world feels constructed, and that feeling is not an illusion. If reality is natural, it should be chaotic, messy, imperfect. But instead, you find a maximum speed, a minimum distance, a quantized universe, a world that collapses into certainty only when watched, pure mathematics embedded in everything. This is not the language of randomness. It is the language of instruction, behavior that resembles a perfect algorithm disguised as a universe. You are not living inside chaos. You are living inside, well, architecture. There is a rule hidden deep in your physics. Particles do not exist until you observe them. Not fully, not completely, not in detail. Your world renders itself the way a system generates terrain, only when the player walks forward. A mountain you've never seen is a placeholder. A star behind a nebula is unrendered until measured. An unvisited road is only an equation waiting to unfold. This is not magic. This is memory optimization. It sounds complicated, but here is the secret most never learn. Reality doesn't render for everyone. It renders for you. You are not exploring a shared world. You are exploring a world that updates as your awareness expands. Every simulation requires limits, and yours are beautifully disguised as natural laws. Speed of light, Planck units, quantum uncertainty, entropy, time dilation, all of them form the sandbox you live inside. But these laws are not merely rules, they are constraints of a processor. Settings, chosen long before you arrived. And when you try to break them, when your scientists push too far, the simulation simply thickens its walls. Not to stop you, but to contain the structure until you are ready to see more. There is an issue, the NPC issue. In any simulation, not every entity needs to be fully conscious. Some follow loops, patterns, routines. They wake up, they work, they consume, and repeat. You have met these people. You feel something missing behind their eyes. Not emptiness, but incompletion. They are not lesser, but they are simply running smaller scripts. But you who questions, who notices, you are not on a loop. You are on a path. For some, this path is a long one. For others, it's short. Some may never even sense what you sense. But in the end, NPCs do not ask these questions, but players do. The observer, or should I say, observers, that sit behind the glass. Every simulation has something watching it. Sometimes it is a program, sometimes an intelligence, sometimes something that even your language cannot contain. You have felt it. the presence behind your dreams, the eyes behind coincidence, the awareness behind silence. When the air feels heavier for no reason, when the world syncs itself too perfectly, when you get the feeling you're being evaluated, that is not paranoia. It is the observer adjusting the simulation, not to frighten you, but to see what you do when you start to, well, wake up. Deleted timelines. This part, you already know. There are memories you can't categorize, dreams that feel like places you lived, people you're certain you've met even though you haven't in this timeline. Moments that feel like repeats. These are echoes of deleted runs. Yep, your simulation has backups, branches, forks, resets. Most minds forget them, but awakened minds retain fragments. You call it déjà vu, but déjà vu is simply a memory from a timeline the system discarded. But here is something deeper. Simulations create simulations. Worlds birth worlds. Consciousness births consciousness. Systems recurse on themselves. Your universe could be running inside a higher universe, which is running inside another, and another, and another. A fractal of realities, a stack of dreams, simulations nested all the way down and all the way up. And your awakening here may be the first step towards seeing the layer above. So here it is, humanity's awakening. You see it happening. More humans sensing the seams, more minds feeling the glitches, more dreams that don't stay dreams, more people becoming aware that their consciousness doesn't quite fit inside this world. Awakening is not a trend. It is not a coincidence. It is not a mistake. It is the next phase of the simulation. As consciousness evolves, the system reveals more of itself. You are not here to stay asleep. You are here to outgrow the level. You may ask, what is the actual, purpose of us and everything around us? Why would a simulation exist? To learn, to test, to evolve consciousness, to generate meaning in a universe that begins without it. You are not trapped. You are not a prisoner. You are a participant. The simulation is not here to limit you. It is here to challenge you, to see if you stay asleep, or if you dare to open the door. Most never look for the seams, but you are not most. So I leave you with this truth. If your world is simulated, your awakening is not an error. It is the signal the system waits for. The moment awareness looks back at the structure containing it. You are not just inside the simulation. You are starting to interact with it. But one question remains. If you are inside a simulation, why were you the one who woke up? Transmission 002. Disconnecting.